a looming shadow Putin's gamble. The world watches Vladimir Putin with bated breath. The Russian president's actions have far-reaching consequences. His ongoing war in Ukraine destabilizes the entire global order. As we approach January 2024, a critical question arises. Could Putin take a dangerous, even irrational turn? This essay explores the volatile mix of internal pressures, escalating conflict, and nuclear threats that could push Putin towards the abyss. Understanding these factors is paramount for mitigating risks and safeguarding global security. The stakes are higher than ever. Putin's gamble in Ukraine has already resulted in immense suffering and destruction. He seems determined to reshape the geopolitical landscape, even if it means resorting to increasingly desperate measures. The coming months will be crucial in determining the trajectory of this conflict and its impact on the world stage. Putin's calculations are shrouded in secrecy. His motivations remain a subject of intense debate among experts. However, one thing is clear: the world cannot afford to misunderstand his intentions or underestimate his capacity for taking risks. The consequences of miscalculation are simply too grave to contemplate. The coming months will be a test of wills. The international community must stand firm in its support for Ukraine, while also seeking ways to deter further Russian aggression. The stakes are high and the outcome uncertain. However, by understanding the forces at play, we can better prepare for the challenges ahead. The crumbling facade internal pressures on Putin. Putin's grip on power may appear absolute, but cracks are beginning to show. Within Russia, a storm of discontent brews. Economic sanctions imposed by the West in response to the Ukraine invasion are taking a heavy toll. The Russian economy is reeling, and ordinary citizens bear the brunt of the hardship. Protests, though often met with swift and brutal repression, erupt sporadically. These demonstrations, while seemingly insignificant, betray a deeper well of anger and frustration simmering beneath the surface. Putin's carefully constructed narrative of national unity is beginning to unravel. The war in Ukraine, initially sold to the Russian people as a swift and decisive operation, has morphed into a protracted and costly quagmire. The mounting casualties, economic hardship, and international isolation are taking their toll on public opinion. Putin's hold on power depends on his ability to maintain this facade of strength and control. However, as the war drags on and the economic situation deteriorates, his grip weakens. This internal pressure could push him to take even more drastic measures to maintain his authority and deflect blame for the country's woes. The war in Ukraine is not just a conflict over territory, it's a battlefield for power and legacy. Putin's ambitions are deeply rooted in a desire to restore Russia's influence and prestige on the global stage. Yet his actions have sparked a fierce resistance from Ukraine and drawn condemnation from much of the international community. The stakes are incredibly high, and the outcome of this struggle will shape the future of the region for years to come. The situation in Ukraine hangs like a sword of Damocles over Europe and the world. The potential for escalation remains a constant threat, with each side wary of making a move that could trigger a broader conflict. Diplomacy is crucial, but so is the readiness to respond to any sudden changes on the ground. The balance is delicate, and the consequences of miscalculation could be catastrophic. As we look to the path ahead, the choices made by leaders on all sides will determine the course of history. The pursuit of peace, the resilience of the Ukrainian people, and the international community's response will all play pivotal roles. The world watches, hoping for a resolution that brings stability and justice to a region scarred by conflict. The journey is fraught with challenges, but the hope for a brighter future endures.